You know how sometimes just one single moment can change
Well,
everything?
absolutely, like a hinge point.
Exactly. So picture this. A funeral, pretty standard stuff, right? Small
Yep.
town, plethora, Maine. The mayor's passed away.
Okay. Sad occasion.
But amidst all that, we focus on his daughter, Lily Bloom. And her story, it doesn't really kick off there.
Oh, where then?
It takes this sharp turn onto a Boston rooftop. That's where it all begins, really.
Huh. So a moment of like public grief leads to something private, something pivotal.
That's what's so fascinating. We're diving into Colleen Hoover's It Things with us today, looking at these early excerpts.
Right. Trying to piece together those first connections, those moments that really start shaping Lily's whole journey.
Yeah, uncovering how her own, internal stuff, the grief, the past, mixes with these chance encounters and these little sparks of what she wants for her future.
It sounds like a really complex mix right from the start. Loss, new connections, dreams.
Okay, so let's really get into that first rooftop meeting. Lily's just given the eulogy for her father.
And the source describes him in these uh, contrasting ways, doesn't it? Prodigious, adored, but also the father of that strange girl.
Right, the one who fell in love with a homeless guy, quite the reputation. So she needs a break, obviously.
Understanding.
Finds this rooftop in Boston, and bam, there's this guy, Ryle, and he seems like he's about to fall apart.
Yeah, the description is pretty intense. Lily's vulnerable, looking for peace, and she finds this imposing figure.
Tall, broad shoulders.
But he's clearly distressed, holding his head, breathing hard. It sets up this immediate tension, this contrast between them.
And it is awkward. Like, first thing he does is kick a patio chair.
Right. Not exactly subtle.
Then he's smoking a joint, offers her some.
Which she turns down. Smart move, probably.
Her thought is basically, nope, this guy's voice is intense enough, don't need anything else. What an intro.
Seriously. But then they start talking about the chair, needing air. Lily hints about the eulogy not being straightforward.
And this quiet settles between them, which is always interesting, isn't it? That comfortable silence.
It really is. It suggests some kind of immediate, unspoken understanding, maybe, despite the weirdness.
And as they talk more, you see little bits revealed. Ryle says Lily isn't most people.
Which is a key line, I think. He sees something different in her right away.
And they connect over being new to Boston, that Boston purgatory feeling.
Ah, yes. Where tourists think you're local and locals think you're a tourist.
Lily gets it immediately, and we find out Ryle's a neurosurgery resident.
Okay, high-stress job. Explain some things, maybe?
Maybe. His sister lives right downstairs with her husband, who's like a tech mogul or something.
Right, Melissa and Marshall.
And Lily just moved from Maine after college. Then she gets totally fixated on this little house built on the rooftop.
Oh yeah, that detail's great. She's noticing the permit from '82, imagining a garden.
Even in the middle of all this emotional turmoil, her mind goes to possibilities.
Yeah.
Creating something.
That's a lovely little insight, isn't it? That ability to see potential, to imagine beauty, even then, it feels like a hint of her own dreams starting to surface.
Totally. And that leads right into them revealing more. Lily mentions her dream. Lily blooms, the flower shop.
Even though she's stuck in marketing for now.
And Ryle's immediately like, go for it. Be an entrepreneur.
Supportive, right off the bat.
Then comes the name reveal. Lily, Blossom, Bloom.
Oh gosh, because her parents' last names were synonyms.
Exactly. You gotta laugh. It's so literal.
It's funny, but also kinda tells you something about her family, maybe? A bit quirky.
Could be. And it kind of paves the way for her just blurting it out.
Yeah.
That her dad just died.
Yeah, Ryle's reaction shifts there, doesn't it? From sort of dismissive to
Furious. He realizes there's way more going on with her than he first thought, especially with her father.
definitely. And then, wow, the conversation really deepens. Ryle shares that story about the child dying at the hospital.
So intense, so raw.
It's this moment of shared, heavy vulnerability. And Lily responds with her story about the eulogy.
The 5 great things eulogy. Which is, again, funny on the surface.
But you feel that tension underneath, right? Like it wasn't just a straightforward tribute. It feels like
Oh, yeah.
defiance almost.
Yeah, like she's pushing back against the expected story of her adored father. It hints that their relationship was complicated.
It really does. It shows she's willing to challenge things, even grief, which sets a precedent maybe for how she handles relationships later.
And then Ryle drops his naked truth.
No marriage, no kids. Just wants to be the best damn neurosurgeon there is. Pure ambition.
And Lily's reaction, she respects his honesty about not wanting kids.
Which is notable. Maybe it reflects something in her own past or just her valuing that kind of self-awareness.
Could be. Then he suggests one-night stands.
Bold move.
Lily's hesitant, says she could never, but you can almost hear her wondering.
Yeah, the conviction isn't quite there. So that rooftop meeting, born out of grief and chance, really sets up this incredibly complex dynamic.
It really does. And then the narrative layers in her past through these Ellen diaries.
Ah, yes. Starting back in 2003, writing to Ellen DeGeneres instead of a regular diary.
Which is kind of brilliant for a teenager trying to avoid cliches.
Totally. And through these, we meet Atlas Corrigan.
The homeless boy living in the abandoned house behind hers.
And we see young Lily's compassion immediately, secretly leaving him food.
Worrying if he knows that she knows. It's so tender.
It paints such a different picture from that earlier town gossip description, doesn't it? You see her empathy right away.
There's even that detail about an Obama interview on Ellen in the same entry she talks about feeding Atlas. Just grounds it in time.
Little snapshots of the era.
Then there's that bus encounter. Atlas. Dark hair, those really blue eyes.
Vivid description.
And Lily just whispers, "Why don't you live at home?" It leads to her giving him clothes, her father's clothes.
Whoa, that feels significant.
Right. And a backpack of supplies, all in secret. Her wanting to help is so strong.
Giving him her father's clothes?
Wow.
It was like this quiet rejection of her dad, maybe. Choosing kindness towards Atlas instead.
And emphasizing the need for secrecy, too. It shows how vulnerable Atlas really is.
And we also get that quick phone call with her mom.
Yeah, hints of strain there. Lily definitely wants her independence, especially if her mom's thinking of moving to Boston, too.
She seems determined to carve her own path. That desire for independence feels like a major driver for her.
Okay, fast forward a bit in the present. Lily's talking about Lily Blooms with Alyssa, Ryle's sister.
And Elisa's super enthusiastic, right? A nice contrast to Lily's own initial hesitation.
Totally. But starting a business, it's messy. Literally involves old vegetable crates.
The glamour.
And naturally, Lily hurts her ankle moving them.
Of course. But that brings Ryle back into the picture, doesn't it?
Yeah. Alyssa calls him, and he shows up, brings ice, checks her ankle. We see a different side of him caring, practical.
It's a shift from that intense rooftop talk. More tangible help.
And when he finds out about the shop actually happening, Lily Blooms, he's genuinely thrilled for her. Proud, even.
That must have felt good for Lily.
I think so. And her whole attitude is great. Might as well try it while I'm still young enough to bounce back. That resilience.
She's really starting to believe in herself.
But then she has that thought. I hate that he's Alyssa's brother. I have a feeling this isn't the last time I'll be seeing him.
Ooh, foreshadowing. She senses the attraction, but also the potential messiness because of the connection to Elisa.
Exactly. Okay, let's rewind again to young Lily and Atlas.
Back to the past.
He shows up at the bus stop. She'd casually invited him over to watch TV earlier.
Just a simple, kind gesture.
They exchange some tools. It's quiet, symbolic. And then he starts coming over regularly to watch Ellen with her.
Little routine.
Lily notes they don't talk much, but she likes his comedic timing. Feels validated sharing that simple thing. It becomes this gentle foundation.
That comfortable silence again, maybe? Different from Ryle, though. More shared vulnerability, perhaps.
Could be. And she gets more involved. Showers, food, laundry. She admits she enjoys it, that he's a distraction she looks forward to.
It sounds like a lifeline for both of them, really. Finding some normalcy.
But then, jarringly, we cut back to the present. Ryle's at her apartment, and the mood is tense, suggestive.
His tone changes.
Yeah, it becomes demanding. And Lily has that thought. I hate how good it feels to be wanted this much. Those conflicting feelings again.
Wow, that's a stark contrast to the comfort she seems to find with Atlas. It points to a very different kind of pull towards Ryle, maybe one mixed with unease.
Definitely unease. Okay, time jump. Lily Bloom's soft opening after 53 days of hard work.
I feel amazing.
Totally. Accomplished. I had a dream and I busted my ass.
Right.
Great attitude.
Good for her.
But then she's at Ryle's place and she finds this photo.
Oh no, what kind of photo?
It's of her from the rooftop the night they met, but it's distorted. Warped.
Oh, that's creepy. Really unsettling, like possessiveness. Just weird.
Yeah, Lily feels her blood bubbling. It hits her hard. Deeply uncomfortable.
I bet that leads to another confrontation, right? On the rooftop again.
Yep, after the shop opening party. She's struggling attracted to him, but so frustrated by the mixed signals, his whole casual-only thing.
So she tries to set boundaries.
She does. Tells him to stop the flirting, the pictures, the flowers. Says, it actually kind of hurts. She's being so clear.
Good for her. standing up for what she needs. How does he react?
He basically ignores her, stares out at the street like she hasn't said a word.
Ugh, that's dismissive. A total disconnect in what they want or expect.
Right. But despite that, the night ends with a seemingly okay goodnight.
Weird.
And then she wakes up in his apartment the next morning wearing his shirt.
The classic morning after confusion.
Totally. Leads to an awkward chat with Alyssa, where it comes out that Ryle and Lily actually met before Alyssa knew Lily.
Oh, so there's this connection Alyssa didn't even know about. Adds another layer of complexity, doesn't it?
Things seem to be getting more serious, maybe? Ryle promises to see her soon. They have this deeper kiss.
But then he pulls back.
Yeah. Says he likes her too much to just make out, which is confusing. After everything.
Very confusing. Hot and cold. Meanwhile, her friend Lucy is upset about something.
Yeah, just a hint of other drama going on in Lily's life, outside of Ryle and Atlas.
Right, keeps her world grounded.
So Lily's doing the waiting by the phone thing, decides to distract herself with the Ellen diaries again.
Back into the past, always revealing something new.
And this time, she finds out something surprising about her great-grandfather, Ellis.
See? Those diaries are like little treasure troves of family history and past emotions. They really anchor her story.
For sure. And then we get that beautiful moment with Atlas in her garden.
The one about the plants?
Yeah. He talks about how plants need the right kind of love to survive and compares it to kids needing parental love.
So insightful for someone his age, especially given his own experiences. It shows this real depth he has.
Absolutely. But then the diaries take another dark turn.
Oh no. What now?
A really disturbing entry. Young Lily witnesses her father choking her mother.
Oh God. Horrifying.
Her fear, her anger, it's intense. She actually tries to grab a knife.
You protect your mom.
Wow. But Atlas pulls her away. Again, he physically removes her from that danger.
Alice is always there in those critical moments, isn't he? Her protector.
And she feels so embarrassed that he saw that. That awful, vulnerable family moment.
Heartbreaking. That kind of trauma.
Yeah.
It explains so much about her later anxieties,
Definitely. And even after witnessing that, Atlas comes to her house later, says, "I heard you scream Lily."
Chills, that line. His immediate instinct is to check on her.
But Lily lies, says she just fell, probably trying to protect him from her dad's anger.
Which he probably sees right through.
Yeah, he leaves pretty quickly, likely upset by the lie, the whole situation. But Lily, even then, plans to sneak him blankets later.
Her compassion persists even in her fear.
That night, she does sneak him into her room. He sleeps on the floor.
A secret sanctuary.
And they have this whispered conversation. Atlas reveals everything. No real dad, abusive stepdad, kicked out at 18.
Just devastating, the sheer amount of hardship he's faced.
He talks about living in the abandoned house, his plan to join the Marines, trying to find some way out.
His resilience is incredible.
He even talks about how impossible it is to get help. No shelters for his age group, can't get a job without an address or phone.
It really highlights those systemic failures, doesn't it? Things most people don't think about.
And it's a huge eye-opener for young Lily. She makes this vow then and there, inspired by Ellen, actually to help people like Atlas someday, unlike her own father.
Wow, that's a defining moment for her. Seeing that injustice firsthand really shapes her values.
Okay, back to the present. Ryle's back at Lily's apartment. He's tired after a big surgery, but affectionate. Says he's too tired for sex, which seems considerate. Reinforces something non-physical between them.
Maybe, but Lily doubts it.
Yeah, she wonders, is he genuine or just saying what she wants to hear? She hopes it's about sacrifice, something she thinks is important in relationships.
Her hopefulness is still there, despite everything, but the doubt lingers. That's telling.
Then there's that weird moment with Alyssa. Lily jokes about Ryle liking her, and Alyssa gets really serious and just leaves.
That definitely suggests Alyssa knows something, or has concerns she's not voicing yet. Another red flag, maybe?
Feels like it. But then Ryle greets Lily after work with this super passionate kiss, like he hasn't stopped thinking about her.
More of that back and forth, intense connection. Then subtle warning signs. It's becoming a clear pattern.
So Lily and Ryle go to dinner with Lily's mom.
Meeting the parent. Milestone.
Ryle turns on the charm naturally, even lies smoothly about how he met Lily through Alyssa.
Covering their tracks from that rooftop meeting.
Mom's curious, of course, and then, bam, Lily spots Atlas. in the same restaurant.
No way. Talk about awkward timing.
That instant recognition across the room, that connection is still there. You can feel it, even with Ryle right beside her.
That creates such underlying tension for the whole dinner, I imagine.
For sure. After dinner, Ryle gets her an Uber, clearly expecting a makeout session before she goes.
Okay.
Makes some comment about not wanting to be inside her before surgery. Ugh.
Charming.
But then, as she gets to her car, Atlas is there.
Whoa, he waited.
Apparently, and asks her straight up, "So, who's the lucky guy?" Puts her right on the spot.
Confronting the present with the past, standing right there.
Then we get another diary flashback. Just a sweet moment, Lily and Atlas cuddling on the couch. Not sexual, just close. He was too tired to eat.
Tenderness.
He gives her this little thank you kiss on her collarbone, and it clearly meant something to young Lily.
These little flashbacks just keep emphasizing how gentle and deep their early bond was. It wasn't just about hardship, there was real affection.
Definitely. Then Atlas tells Lily he found his uncle in Boston, has a place to stay.
Good news for him. Stability.
Yeah, but Lily's first reaction is kind of immature, feeling sorry for herself that he's leaving.
Understandable maybe for a teenager losing her closest confidant.
But it's significant that Atlas wanted to tell her first, before making plans final. Shows how much she means to him. He's thinking of moving to Boston for good.
That feels like a potential bridge to the future, doesn't it? Even if it's uncertain.
Then a later diary entry reveals they started making out every day after school before he left.
Ah, so it did become more romantic then.
Yeah. Lily describes feeling comfortable, attracted, playful, intimate descriptions, notes how sweet he is, young love blossoming.
It paints a picture of something really natural and easy developing between them.
We also see that scene where Atlas is baking cookies in her kitchen.
The domestic god, unlike her dad.
Right. Just this nice, normal moment until he has to leave quickly before her dad gets home.
Always that threat hanging over them.
And then the gift. The hand-carved wooden heart.
From the oak tree in her yard. Oh, that's beautiful. So personal.
Lily's totally overwhelmed with affection. It leads to a really passionate moment between them.
That heart feels like such a symbol of your connection, rooted right there in her home, her past.
But the joy never lasts long in those diaries, does it? Another entry. Dad abusing mom again.
God, again. It's relentless.
Lily's hatred, her fear. She grabs the knife again. And Atlas intervenes again.
This cycle of violence, and Atlas always being the one to pull her back, it's just devastatingly formative for her.
Before he finally leaves for Boston, Atlas tells her, "Everything is almost better in Boston, except the girls. Boston doesn't have you."
Wow. What a line.
And Lily promises she'll find him there someday. Their goodbye is gut-wrenching. She feels like she's dying when he lets go.
That mutual promise, despite the uncertainty,
Yeah.
it leaves this door open, this thread connecting them across the distance and time.
After he leaves, Lily has a panic attack. And the town gossip starts, painting Atlas badly, thanks to her dad.
Awful. Twisting the narrative.
But Lily defends him fiercely, shows her loyalty.
Good for her. Standing up against the narrative.
She stops writing to Ellen for a while. Too painful. Feel like she's just floating, waiting.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Needs time to process that loss.
She reflects on that chapter with Atlas ending, hopes they're both happy, starts to think maybe he was just meant to be a part of her life, not the whole thing.
That's a mature perspective to reach.
Uh-huh.
An acceptance, maybe, of moving forward while still valuing the past.
Okay, big time jump now. Years later.
Right. Lily's got the shop. Lily Bloom's is real.
She feels like she's found her purpose. Alyssa's her friend, her business partner. Things seem good, stable.
She built the life she dreamed of. That's huge progress.
Then Alyssa tells the story about her own past boyfriend cheated. Ryle got super angry, temporarily cut off his best friend.
Gives us more insight into Ryle's intensity, his loyalty, maybe his temper too.
Possibly. Lily sees it as youthful drama. Alyssa, meanwhile, is shipping Lily and Ryle hard, wants them to get married.
Ever the matchmaker.
We see Ryle being affectionate with Lily, proud of her shop's success. Leads to that passionate stairwell encounter.
The physical chemistry is definitely still strong.
They joke about him working too much. Lily admires his ambition. Seems comfortable.
Banter, closeness. Looks good on the surface.
She's excited to meet his parents, but then she asks about his brother, Emerson.
And he stiffens up.
Instantly. Clearly a majorly sensitive topic, unresolved pain there.
Another shadow in the background. Something hidden.
They smooth it over with passion described as making love, but that Emerson thing hangs there.
Then comes the phone call. The first one in their 3-month relationship. Feels ominous.
It is, because that's when it happens, the push.
Oh, God. The first act of physical violence.
He pushes her, she hits her head, and his first reaction seems to be concern for her, not even his own hand that he hurt hitting the wall.
That's so confusing. The aggression followed by apparent remorse or concern. A classic disturbing pattern.
Lily's in shock.
Yeah.
But even then, she finds the strength to set that boundary. If this ever happens again, I leave. No hesitation.
Incredible clarity in that moment of trauma. So important.
Ryle is crying, promises it won't, and then they both say, I love you, their naked truth.
Wow. Love declared in the immediate aftermath of violence. That's deeply complicated.
And scary.
Then comes that awful dinner. Lily's late, trying to avoid Atlas, who is also there. The universe just keeps throwing them together at the worst times.
Alyssa sees Lily's injury. Ryle tries to laugh it off with a fake story. The tension is suffocating.
Everyone knows something's wrong, but no one's saying it.
Lily has that moment with Atlas, though. Tells him, right now I'm more scared of him, Ryle, than I ever was of you.
Brutal honesty. And Alice just gets it
Yeah.
and leaves.
Yeah. Respectful, understanding. The car ride home with Ryle is silent, tense. He's clearly hurt, scared of losing her. Lily reassures him, says she only wants him.
She's trying to manage his emotions, maybe. Smooth things over after the confrontation with Atlas.
Yeah.
It puts her in a difficult position.
Definitely. Alyssa remains supportive. Lily decides not to tell Ryle she saw Atlas, probably knows it would set him off.
Smart, but also sad she has to hide things.
Then, another flashback. Lily's 19th birthday, Atlas visits.
A surprise visit.
Yeah. And he seems later happier, but then he drops a bombshell.
What?
He confesses he went to the abandoned house that one night intending to end his life.
Oh my God, no.
Lily is devastated. He explains how seeing her bedroom light on, just that simple light, gave him a flicker of feeling when he was totally numb. It starved him.
So Lily,
Yeah.
she literally saved his life without even knowing it.
Exactly. Just by existing, by being there. It's an incredibly powerful moment of connection between them. Reframes everything.
Absolutely profound. Changes the weight of their whole history.
Atlas then explains he's leaving for the military soon, doesn't want her waiting for him, basically letting her go.
He knows their situation is still too complicated for a real relationship then. That's mature, in a way.
Yeah.
Painful, but mature.
Yeah, there's this understanding it wasn't a forever thing back then. Lily's feelings are bittersweet, but she makes that promise. If you don't come back, I'll come for you.
Defiant. Loyal. Still holding on to that connection.
Their last kiss before he leaves. So much emotion packed into that moment.
Okay, snap back to the present. Ryle finds Atlas's number on a piece of paper.
And loses it completely.
Explosive reaction.
Totally. Accusations, yelling, throws her phone, breaks it, storms out. Lily's crushed.
His promise meant nothing. The insecurity, the jealousy, the violence, it's all still there.
He comes back later, tries to explain, blames his childhood. Lily struggles. She doesn't want to equate him with her father. She sees him trying sometimes. She decides to try and forgive. Again.
That internal battle is agonizing. Wanting to believe in change, but seeing the pattern repeat. It's the core dilemma.
An hour later, he's back again, calm now, apologizes sincerely, says her happiness matters more than his career, decides not to go pursue that opportunity elsewhere, stays in Boston for her.
Whoa, big gesture.
And then reveals he bought them an apartment.
Grand gesture territory now. It's overwhelming. Is it genuine change or manipulation? It's so hard to tell.
Lily's caught in that whirlwind shock, hope, joy, confusion. They move in.
And then a string of good news hits.
Right. Lily Bloom's voted Best New Business. Ryle gets selected for training at Cambridge anyway. And Alyssa goes into labor.
It feels like life is pushing them forward towards this bright future, despite the darkness underneath.
They rush to the hospital. Baby Riley is born. So much joy. Alyssa even says she hopes Ryle wants babies with Lily someday.
Painting that picture of domestic bliss again.
That night, Lily comes home late from visiting the baby. She's thinking about maybe having kids with Ryle, feeling happy about the idea.
A moment of peace, of hope.
And then Ryle initiates this really sensual moment in the kitchen, whispers another naked truth.
Seems like things are back on track, maybe? Intimacy returning?
Seems like it. Until Ryle shows her an article, Best New Businesses.
Okay. Featuring her shop.
Yes, but also Bibs on Arkitson, top restaurant, owned by Chef Corrigan,
Alice,
who dedicated the name as an homage to someone who had a huge impact. She still means a lot to me.
Oh, wow. Public declaration. That changes things.
Lily can't even read the rest. She's overwhelmed.
That
And Ryle,
he loses it again.
completely, accuses her of Atlas still being in her life, the magnet, the journals, her tattoo. Everything is proof to him, and he pushes her onto the bed. Violence erupts again.
The cycle continues, triggered by his insecurity about Atlas. It's undeniable now.
Lily's terrified, tells him to leave, and this time she calls Atlas.
Good. Reaching out for help.
Atlas arrives immediately. Protective instinct kicks right in. Sees Lily's injuries, offers support. She's reluctant about police or doctors.
Understandable fear and shame, probably.
But Atlas gently insists she get checked out. Takes her to his apartment, gives her a safe place. She's just reeling.
He provides that safety net she desperately needs. Calm, practical support.
The next morning is awkward, but he's just quietly pairing.
Yeah.
She still can't read the article about Bibbs. And then her internal monologue.
What is it?
She realizes she's pregnant.
Oh my God. Pregnant? Now, after this, the timing is just devastating.
Here, confusion, grappling with motherhood with Ryle. She finally understands why women, like her own mother, might stay in abusive situations. It's not weakness, it's love, hope, complexity.
That realization, born from her own experience, is profound. Shifts her whole perspective.
She finally tells Atlas everything about Ryle's abuse, acknowledging his earlier warnings.
How does he react?
No judgment. No, I told you so. Just pure concern for her. There's this moment of deep, familiar understanding between them. He tells her she can stay as long as she needs.
He's just solid, dependable, exactly what she needs.
Ryle comes back to her apartment later. He's calm. Too calm, maybe.
Scary calm.
Lily's definitely wary. He puts his keys down, says he's leaving for England for 3 months, gives her space, says sorry isn't enough.
Acknowledging the severity, giving her space. Maybe that's the only constructive thing he can do right now.
Maybe. After he leaves, Lily calls Atlas again.
Smart. Keep that support line open.
He arranges for friends to come over, Darren, Brad. Then another friend, Jimmy, older, more opinionated, shows up.
An unexpected support crew.
They're pretty blunt about her situation, play poker to distract her. But then Jimmy mentions a Cassie on the phone with Atlas.
Uh-oh. Who's Cassie?
Lily gets uneasy, asks Atlas later. He denies anyone named Cassie exists, firmly.
Is he lying? Maybe to protect Lily's feelings, not wanting to complicate things while she's so vulnerable.
That's what Lily starts to think. That maybe he lied back then, too, about not having anyone because he just wanted her to be happy, even if it wasn't with him. She gets overwhelmed and retreats.
That realization that his past actions might have been selfless attempts to ensure her happiness adds another layer of complexity to their story. It's heartbreaking, really.
She goes to Alyssa, finally tells her everything about Ryle's abuse.
How does Alyssa take it? Her own brother.
Grief, anger at Ryle, but unwavering support for Lily. And she's still excited about the baby, the new life.
That sisterly bond remains strong, important for Lily.
Lily still holds off telling her mom about Ryle, but eventually she has to. Her mom reveals she's seeing someone new first.
Oh, good for her mom.
Which maybe makes it easier. Lily confesses everything. The abuse, her fears about single motherhood.
And her mom responds with wisdom.
So much wisdom. From her own experience, talks about how every incident chips away at your limit, the absolute need to leave for good. What true love isn't.
Powerful words from someone who's lived it.
She reminds Lily of her strength at the eulogy. Tells her, be that girl, Lily, brave and bold.
Wow. That's the encouragement Lily needs, connecting her past strength to her present challenge.
Alyssa and Marshall help Lily pack up baby gifts to return, a clear signal she's not expecting Ryle's involvement in the same way.
Taking practical steps towards a different future.
And just then, Ryle walks into Elisa's apartment. He's back, unexpectedly.
Oh gosh, right when she's making these moves, the timing.
The awkwardness is intense. 3 months apart, Ryle focuses on setting up the nursery at Lily's place. Seems helpful.
A gesture towards co-parenting, maybe? Trying to be involved?
Lily's torn. Attraction, longing. But the hurt is still raw. They have this unspoken truce. Don't talk about the separation, the future. She needs his patience.
It's a very fragile coexistence. Living in the same space, but not aggressing the elephant in the room.
Lily throws herself into painting the nursery mural, pouring her hopes for the baby into it.
Creating her own vision for the future.
When it's done, Ryle genuinely admires it. A shared moment. Anticipating the baby. A tiny flicker of their old connection.
Those shared moments must be so confusing. Hope mixed with pain.
Finally, Lily initiates the talk. The naked truth about them. Ryle seems ready, eager even, to finally hash it out.
The confrontation they've been avoiding. It has to happen.
Pregnancy progresses. Ryle is involved, talks to the baby, goes to appointments, stays on her couch the last week.
He's present as a father figure, it seems.
Then her water breaks. Panic, excitement. Ryle is supportive during labor, and baby Emerson arrives. Their parents.
A monumental life change. Now they're linked forever through Emerson, regardless of their romantic status.
Fast forward 11 months, Lily's navigating single motherhood in Boston with baby Emerson.
Doing it on her own.
And one day, on the street, she bumps into Atlas.
Of course she does. A chance encounter after all this time.
It's brief, but powerful. That connection.
Yeah.
Still there. Undeniable.
A spark, maybe? A possibility.
Then we see her meeting Ryle outside the shop, clearly co-parenting. Civil.
Finding a way to manage that.
But then Lily makes a sudden decision, sees Atlas again, perhaps, and just goes after him.
She chooses him, actively pursues him.
Yep, runs after him down the street. That reunion, it feels so hopeful, determined, like a real choice being made.
Wow. A powerful ending to that part of the story, choosing a different path.
And the author's notes really frame it, don't they? Writing for women like her mother, exploring love, abuse, the strength it takes to leave, especially for your kids.
It adds so much weight. Knowing the author's intent, it's not just a romance, it's about survival, empowerment.
So looking back, Lily's journey is incredible. Grief leads to Ryle, leads to Atlas resurfacing, these complex webs. Her resilience shines through.
Absolutely. Her independence grows, she faces the horror of abuse, but finds the courage for a new start.
Key moments jump out. The Ellen diaries connecting past and present. Ryle's ambition versus his violence, that stark contrast. Atlas's steady, selfless love.
And Lily's final act, choosing herself, choosing her daughter's safety and future. That's the ultimate aha moment.
It really makes you, the listener, think about relationships, doesn't it? The complexities, the strength needed sometimes, how important self-awareness is.
Definitely. Knowing what you need, what's healthy, and making choices for your own well-being.
And it leaves us with that big question. Can love, real love, actually coexist with abuse? What does strength even look like in that situation?
And what happens next? For Lily, for Emerson, for Atlas, that reunion feels like a beginning, but what kind of beginning? Lots to ponder.